A family from Bristol say they're being kept in a virtual prison due to a hold-up in their visa application. The couple, who came to live and work in the city from Kashmir a decade ago, now want to make it their permanent home.
They sent their passports off to the Home Office, but 16 months later they're still waiting, unable to move house or change jobs without them. Polly March reports.
Amir came to Bristol from Kashmir to study at UE. After qualifying with a master's degree in international management, he began working in the city and has now been living here, legally, for 10 years. His wife, Rufi, a pharmacist, joined him 4 years ago. Their baby, Hamad, was born here. The couple, who live in a one-bedroom flat in Easton, are one of many families the BBC has spoken to who say they're stuck in limbo. For Amir and Rufi, the wait for residency has been agonising.
It's just affected our well-being of our child, our quality of our life, and it just feels that we are in like a virtual prison. We recently found some rat droppings in our child's cot, and there were some droppings in the kitchen as well. We can't change our accommodation only because we can't prove that we have right to rent a house or right to live in this country, because that's all down to Home Office keeping our passports for such a long time. My father isn't very well, so I can't really travel back home. So that's one of the things that really gives me nightmares, because if there's an emergency back home, I can't really travel.
At one point, Amir was even sent a letter by mistake telling him he must leave the country immediately. He had to ask his employer to point out the error to the Home Office. The family are just one of more than a dozen the BBC has spoken to, who have waited for more than a year for a decision about their application to live here. Some barristers have accused the Home Office of intentionally creating a hostile environment for immigrants.
It's there to make people abandon their claims, to consider twice whether this is something they want to proceed with, and to make it a sort of unhospitable atmosphere with a move to reducing immigration numbers to what Theresa May has stated should be in the tens of thousands.
Shadow Home Secretary Diane Abbott has urged the Home Office to come clean about the number of people waiting, but the government denies that delays are due to a backlog. Meanwhile, the couple's MP says she's seeing an increased number of immigration applications held up at the Home Office.
It puts people's lives on hold, and we've got people who are coming over here with skills and qualifications and skills to offer our country, and we're just putting them in limbo, and that's inhumane, it's unjust, and in some cases I think it's possibly against international law.
We contacted the Home Office, who said, whilst they understood the disruption, it would be inappropriate to return travel documents until an outcome had been reached.
It is vital that the correct decisions are made, particularly with complex cases that require detailed consideration and verification of evidence, where there is the potential for people to abuse the immigration system.
Amir and Rufi are hoping to travel to India for an important family celebration later this month, but it's looking increasingly unlikely that they'll make it. Polly March, BBC Points West, Bristol.